meeting, June 26, 2023. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kent. This time I'll do my introduction. Our fire chief, Andy Frost III. Our police chief, Bob Gavalier, he's going to be a few minutes late. He'll be coming in soon. And our zoning inspector's on his way too, Darren Crivelli. I have our township administrator / road superintendent, Mark Capolito. Off to my left, I have the fiscal officer, Lori Wolf. Off to my right, I have trustee Steve Kent. Off to my left, I have trustee Robert Santos, and I am trustee Monica Devers. Need a motion to approve minutes of regular meeting of June 12th, 2023.
So moved. Second.
Mrs. Devers? Yes. Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Darren has come in, zoning inspector. Okay, right now we're going to give an update given by Jim Davis on our July 4th celebration activities. Welcome, Jim.
This is the justification groups give a chance to come out and sound a little bit rich. Joined by my committee members, Bruce Shepis, who's the chairman of the parade, and then also Mark Holt, president of Austintown Generational Enrichment, who helps with the funding of the parade with our nonprofit, and Ken Cooley, our treasurer, and of course Sam Swager, kind of our sergeant at arms, always taking care of making sure we have the military as part of our parades. First of all, thank you for allowing us a couple minutes to talk about the great week we've got planned for everybody here in Austintown. And of course, thank you guys again now publicly for the donation to be a part of the event, as well as providing police, fire, and just about everything we need. So thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. We're excited to partner with the Parks Department tomorrow. There will be a color guard presentation at 7:00 p.m. And then we have your concert in the park, which kind of has always been the official kickoff. And Ken Cooley's Campfield Community Concert Band will be there playing patriotic music. So that makes for a fun evening in the park. And thank you guys once again for the concerts in the park and allowing us to be a part of that. And so we hope that the public joins everybody out there to be a part of that. And then we roll into the fireworks event, which is our party on the plaza. That is going to take place on Sunday. The gates will open at 4 o'clock. We will have some music streaming from 4 to about 5:30, and then at 5:30, the bands will kick off. So we will have live entertainment beginning at 5:30. 7% Superstar will be opening up the festivities. They're going to play till about 7 o'clock, and then we will have the band 1988 playing from 7:45 to 9:45. In conjunction with all of that, we've got a bunch of events that take place throughout the evening. We have the heroes and superheroes and princesses will be there taking pictures with kids and doing a meet and greet. Those times run from 5:30 until 8:30. There will be 6 different characters on site to meet with your children, so bring the kids out so that they can meet them. Also, Austintown Balance, Bruce and Harold have graciously donated 3 inflatables for the event. So those will be there, as well as the Mark Hole Agency and Jamie Blott Insurance were kind enough to make a donation so that we could have a petting zoo and pony rides for the kids. Buffalo Wild Wings will be doing face painting for all the children. And the great part of all of this, one thing we always wanted to do was make it free, so that every kid could attend, every parent could bring their kid, grandparent could bring their kid, and even the older adults, if you want your face painted too, they won't turn you away, but you can't ride the ponies. It's all free. So we ask that you come out and bring the kids, because that's who we truly put this on for, so that they can have a good time. Molnar's concessions will be there. Yes, they will have their famous cinnamon rolls, as well as numerous other vendors. That's the only thing you have to pay for while you're in attendance, is if you want something from the concession stand, or if you want a lemonade, that's all you have to pay for. Also, as part of the event, after our softball team won the state championship, I was immediately contacted by Trustee Santos, and he says, "You've got to be as excited about this as I am." And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Well, what's your thoughts on us congratulating the softball team at the event?" And I couldn't agree more. And we're glad to have you guys joining us, as well as some other elected officials. And we're going to be presenting proclamations and presenting them with different awards that evening, and honoring them and making it one big celebration for their state championship. So we're going to honor them. That's going to take place at about 8:30 that night. So it'll be on the main stage. You won't be able to miss it. So please come out and honor those girls as well. The last thing that we're going to have as part of that evening is, if you watch on the 4th of July, they have the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Now, we've been trying to get this a little more national recognition. We haven't broken that barrier yet, but we're working on it. But Buffalo Wild Wings has the Blazing Wing Challenge. Now, anybody that's crazy enough to do this, you can sign up. I ate 2 of these things a couple years ago, trying to raise some money for families here in Austintown, and it is the worst tasting wing I've ever had in my entire life. It is so very hot. But whoever can eat a dozen of them the fastest will be crowned the Blazing Wing champion. And so you can register that day. You register at the Buffalo Wild Wings tent, or you can register in advance by going to Buffalo Wild Wings. I would be remiss if I didn't, first of all, thank Ed and Diane Reese. I thank them every year. They were our very first sponsor many, many years ago. And this is our 10th anniversary of the fireworks being back in Austintown this year. And it was Ed and Diane Reese that, when some idiot stood up and said, "I want to bring fireworks back to the township," they said, "Okay, Jim, we'll do it." And so I always make sure I thank them. But Hollywood Gaming, from day one as well, has been a sponsor, and every year they add more and more money to the pot. And they did it again this year. And Hollywood Gaming and Barstool Sports stepped up, and we got to thank them for being the official sponsors of the event. So make sure, the best way I tell everybody, the way you can thank us is by coming out. The way you can thank the trustees for everything they do, and our police and fire for putting on this event, as well as the Parks Department, who helps with the setup and the tear down and the cleanup. Come out and be a part of it. We get excited when we see big crowds. So come out and celebrate the 4th of July with us on Sunday. Now, if you don't want to celebrate with us on Sunday, you would make Joyce Pogany so very happy if you joined her at 8:30 on Sunday morning. At 8:30 on Sunday morning, Joyce will have her ecumenical service and flag raising at the Austin Log Cabin. There will be light refreshments afterwards. Those, of course, are free as well, thanks to the Austintown Historical Society, and they will have free tours of the log cabin. If you've never gone through the log cabin, it's quite interesting. Go in there. There are yearbooks from every year at Fitch. You can find your old pictures in there, and it's just really cool to go through the log cabin and hear the history of it. And Joyce always puts on a great event. So please join them for the flag raising at 8:30 that morning. Then the granddaddy of them all. I say it's the biggest and best parade in the Mahoning Valley. Yes, it beats the St. Patrick's Day parade in Boardman. Number 1, because it's in Austintown and not in Boardman. And number 2, because the event has just grown and grown by leaps and bounds over the year. And then what a way to celebrate our community than with the parade at 12 o'clock noon. And to talk a little more about that, I'll turn it over to the parade chairman, Bruce Shepard.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, trustees, for your contributions and all of your help in the process of the parade. It's greatly appreciated. I'd just like to have a little refresher here about the parade if you're not aware. The 16th was the deadline to participate in the parade, submit an entry. I extended that to the 25th because that's what's normally happening. It normally happens is there's always late entries. And actually within that small window of 4 to 5 days, I think I received just as many entries as I did over the course of the prior month. That's normally how it goes, but it's okay, I'm usually prepared for that. Anyway, it's gonna be quite of a big parade this year. I think we're around 70 entries, but with multiple cars and trailers and stuff, it's gonna be quite lengthy. Normally I could wrap it up in under 2 hours, and I'm the guy that goes last. You'd think I would change that, make myself go first, right? While all these guys are over at the campgrounds and the beach and their family barbecues, I'm still standing there directing traffic. But I enjoy it. Definitely, I enjoy it. So this year's Grand Marshals is Westside Tire. Westside Tire has been in business for 45 years. This is the 45th annual 4th of July parade. Okay? And the Grand Marshal is Richard Rojenski Sr., Richard Rojenski Jr., and Lisa Walters. They're the owners of Westside Tire. So they were pretty excited. They participate every year, and I think the last 3 or 4 years they've actually at least placed, if not won, with the best float. So I'm sure they're ready to battle this year as well. Something different we're doing this year, a young man named Magnus Sutherland and his mom reached out to me. Magnus has some friends with autism, and they called me and said, "Hey Bruce, so what do you think about having a quiet zone?" And I was completely thrown off. I didn't understand what he was talking about. And it's a shame because I have autism in my family and Down syndrome niece. So he explained that these children and some of these people have sensory issues, which I'm well aware of, but I just never put it together with the parade. So they suggested between Fitzgerald up until Berkey Road, we call it a quiet zone. And that's where I talked to Mr. Frost, Chief Frost, and Gav, Chief Cavalier, and the Fitch Band. So during that stretch of Raccoon Road, we're going to turn the sirens off, turn the flashing lights off, and maybe just do a soft drum roll, very quiet, soft, and respect their wishes with their sensory issues. I thought it was a fantastic idea. I'm so glad to be the first one to do it. Hopefully, the challenge I put out on the local news in the Vindicator, hopefully other communities will follow suit. I think it's a good idea. And you're going to ask why I chose that area. Well, it's a commercial area. I didn't really want to affect people that are in the residential area watching from their homes and their yards. I didn't think it would be fair to them to cut off the sirens and the lights. But in that small strip of residential or commercial area, I thought it was the perfect place for it. You know, maybe if there's some tweaks we have to figure out next year, that's fine, but I think it's going to work just fine. I don't think I have anything else. I'm extremely excited. The 45th.
Thanks to, I think
What's
Matt was here. Is
Where's he at?
Matt still here? There he is.
Oh,
Matt
there's
Rock
Matt,
was
yeah.
able, we got to thank Matt. He was actually to reach out and get Austintown Fitch graduate Corey McCrae from WFMJ. And that's who our MC of the parade will be. So if you want to hear the participants announced, the judging stand and review stand is actually by Huntington Bank. So if you go over there, you'll get to hear Corey McCrae. Thank you, Matt, once again for that. And Corey McCrae from WFMJ will be our MC.
I talked to him a couple weeks ago, but I haven't heard from him since. I'll recap everything with him this week.
I'll send a text, make sure it's.
Yeah, I got his number too now. Thank you.
I don't get thank you so he shows up. So.
Right. Yeah, as long as he shows up. So yeah, please feel free to give me a call, email me. But we're pretty much set, ready to go. I just want to give everybody a little update on what's going on with the parade. Thank you.
All right, that's our update. If I could trouble the trustees for just one moment. And what I'd like to do is, so I don't have to come back up later during public response, I got to serve with Mike Dockery for 12 years as a township trustee. And I know he's not here tonight, but I wanted to publicly thank him for working with me for 12 years and for his career here at Austintown Township. Mike is an exceptional individual. He has to deal with 3 egos at all times, the board members, and when you have 3 individuals with 3 different mindsets, and sometimes 3 different ways of doing things, he's always the peace of mind in the middle that gets the 3 to work together, and does a great job with that. He's done that for over 25 years, and just so phenomenal what he does. The other thing I'll tell you is Mike sometimes gets a bad rap. Mike is always the bad guy. And that's because he does his best to make sure 3 individuals up here look like the good guys. And sometimes he's the one that has to deliver the message that nobody wants to deliver. So I just wanted to publicly thank Mike for his service to the Austintown community and wish him luck in his retirement. And God bless him and Marie congratulations to Maria on her retirement. I can't think of two better people to get to ride off in the sunset together and enjoy the rest of their lives. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll have an administrator report.
All right, so under the administration report, the only thing I have is that Mike Dockery submitted a written email that his last day is effectively July 1st, with his last day of employment being this Friday, June 30th.
I need a motion to accept the retirement letter submitted by the administrator Mike Dockery effective July 1st, 2023, with his last day of employment as June 30th, 2023.
Second.
Mr. Sanchez?
You have to say yes.
Yes. Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes. Under road department and cemetery, do you have anything?
Yes, I've got several motions here. The first is a housekeeping matter, with Mike's retiring, motion to appoint myself as the road superintendent administrator effective 7/1/2023 as the CEO for all public works OPWC matters, including but not limited to the 2022 OPWC project. That's a housekeeping matter to make sure that when I go on the grants portal, I can make submissions. So if I can have a motion there. Also, the next one is a motion to approve the Austintown Plaza temporary work agreement. This is in relationship to the stormwater upgrades that will be going on. They're going to use the land. I don't know if you guys remember, we pulled on any kind of court number 4 on the backside of the plaza there. There's a grassy area on the other side of that parking lot. They're going to utilize that for construction. And the next one is a $16,000 contract with Folk Engineering to provide for the Walmart Wilcox Road retention pond. They're going to do the engineering on that. I expect that will be reimbursed through the county pursuant to their agreements, but we got to get the engineering done so that we have a proper budget amount for the commissioners to consider.
So, for agenda motion A, number 1, we're going to motion for that. We're going to do it all separately, correct?
Yes, or you can go collectively. Let's do it.
With that?
I can do 4 and 5 and then we can do all of
They
it.
can do all of them, okay.
Alright, I also need a motion to amend the cemetery rules to permit metal flagpoles and military medallions to be placed directly in the ground without a metal sleeve adjacent to headstones. Any non-metal flagpoles and military medallions may be placed by township employees in a metal sleeve to protect non-metal flagpoles or military medallions from damage or deterioration. And number 5, motion to enter into an agreement with the Public Services for the disposal of road sweeping and catch basin material. This agreement can not exceed $15,000 per year. I do want to explain number 5 just a second. That is the blue dumpster out there. The EPA regulates road sweepings as a semi-hazardous material, so they require special handling. And cost when the dumpster is escalating. So, in working with the road department and talking to our mechanics, we have the ability to haul directly to carbon limestone using our snowplow trucks, which the mechanics tell me will actually be good for trucks because we'll get them out on the road, in the summer, get the newer trucks running a bit in the summer, and save a little money in the process.
So I'm asking for a motion for agenda B 1 through 5.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mrs. Devers?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
At this time, we'll have our police chief, Bob Cavalier.
If I can excuse me, I'd like to take about 5 minutes of your time in reference to Fitch Boulevard. Gentleman came here and explained about the speeding on Fitch Boulevard. And just kind of give you some update. We did some, put a device down there. We have data from that device, and just so we can kind of give you, so you know what we're looking at here, I'll pass this out to you. If you look at the first page there, the aerial view picture shows where the device was put right at the entrance of the plaza, back entrance of the plaza on Fitch Boulevard. And the start time was 5:24, and came down at 5:28. But in that short period, there was 18,417 vehicles. Now, this device tracks vehicles going both ways, so that could have been a car going in or a car coming out. But anyway, still a lot of vehicles, and then you see the passenger cars, how many went through there, and that average speed of 28 miles per hour. And then this device also tracks the size of the vehicle, tells you if it's a motorcycle, truck, bus, semi, and basically all the vehicles with the average speed was about 28 miles an hour on that Fitch Boulevard. It's heavily traveled traffic down there. We have commercial businesses on there, people going in and out of the plaza. But on the second page, it breaks down again the amount of vehicles. But what this device does tell us that the peak time violations, now the speed limit is 25. We put the tolerance at 5 miles over and 30 miles an hour. And so enforcement rating here is medium, average speed is 28 miles per hour. But what I want to take your attention to is the peak time of violations is 4:56 p.m. So that tells us that if we're going to have somebody down there running radar, that instead of just picking out any time of the day or peak violations, so this device helps us with this down there. And I will say, I think the highest speed recorded at that time is 52 miles an hour in a short stretch. One vehicle.
You can't check mine now, because
In the last page, this breaks it down even more for us. But we have after putting the device up, we have the big traffic trailer down there, speed trailer down there, so it actually is flashing how fast, make people aware of it. Once we take that down, then we'll go back down there and start doing some enforcement down there once that's removed. Did the same thing on Northwest Boulevard from the Old Town Road down to Fitch here, and basically the same thing, same average number of speeds, still highly traffic road coming down at the back end of the plaza. And average speed, I think, was 29 miles an hour. We did have one car clocked at 54 miles an hour. That's a short stretch for someone to fly that fast down there. And that time, the peak violation is around closer to 6 o'clock on Northwest coming down here. I did put the device down on Northwest where the gas line's being replaced because you can't fly down Northwest anymore since they got construction on there. And
ain't slowing them down much.
we also put it on Woodbridge, and basically Woodbridge is the same thing. We have average speed was 28 miles an hour, but we did have a car clocked at 51 miles an hour on Woodbridge also. And the time on Woodbridge was around 5 o'clock, if I remember. I'm not going to hold you that. But anyways, what I'm just getting at is this tells us how many cars are on there, you know, the average speed that these vehicles are traveling, and it tells us whatever tolerance we set it at on the times that we should be down there for the violations. So,
Did you have one on Kirk Road too? Down by the park?
yeah, we have the speed trailers down there, but we moved it now from Kirk Road. One's on Fitz Boulevard, the other one's on Woodley. I think we put it on Woodley a couple of days ago.
So pretty much this is going to save time, mainly the mosquitoes are going to be.
Yeah, it saves time, but it also, like I said, a lot of people, like, you know, Fitch Boulevard, you got buses coming down there, you have big trucks coming down there, and sometimes they seem like they're traveling a lot faster than they are. But if you look at the data here on this, the average speed is 20 miles an hour. Not saying that some are going faster than that. That's why where am I looking at? The peak time of violation. So there are still cars, this was set at 5 mile tolerance. Now if you put it at 7, it's going to go down less violations. Put it at 10 miles, it'll go down even less. But we set it at 5 miles over and it tells us the peak time violation. So the average speed's 28, but we do have some problems down there, Steve. And we do have some down on Northwest over here too. That's it.
I have a motion to accept the resignation letter received from police officer Vincent Shirley, effective immediately. Did anything listed on this, Chief?
Vince was with us a short period of time. We just swore him in, I think, a couple months ago, 4 months ago. He's leaving to go work for the Department of Public Safety. He has a job out of Columbus, Department of Public Safety.
Okay, so moved.
Mrs. Beavers?
Yes.
Mr. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Kenny?
Yes.
At this time, we'll hear from Fire Chief Andy Frost.
I just really want to talk about Mike Dockery, even if I could. Chief Cavalieri and I and the other department heads, we were talking about it. And Mike has been here since I was 92. And just, we can't thank him enough. He gave us such great guidance and kept a level head at all times and made good, solid decisions. And him being an attorney, I think, was an incredible benefit to all of us. And we just wish Mike good luck, and we think the world of him. And we're really sorry to see him go, but we're happy for him, Emery, and we just wish him the best. Along with that, Mark, I've worked with Mark for several years in the county, and I don't think you could have had a better choice. So thank you for making that choice, and we're happy to have Mark on board, and sorry to see Mike go. That's all I have, thank you.
We appreciate that. You want to elaborate on how busy you guys were last week with both of them and thank the other fire departments? There.
Yeah, we, it doesn't happen often, but there's times when we just get blasted with calls, and that's what it was. We had a working house fire on Rita. It was a pretty good fire. Just as I was walking out, just got there, we got toned out for a house exploded down on Mahoney Avenue. So I've had both of our full-time trucks come in on that call, so we diverted some of the other trucks there. Called in Canfield to go to Rita, Youngstown to go to Mahoney, as well as Wethersfield. So again, we're very thankful we got those mutual aid agreements. You can't afford the staff, 4 trucks on the road every day, so you have to rely on the mutual aid. And it worked well. We were very fortunate the second fire ended up being an outside fire with wave runners on the trailer, but I could see the smoke from the other call. So again, we had many reports of an exploded house. So that was a 15 or 20 minutes, but all ended up well. We were fortunate in the house fire. Those folks are going to be able to recover. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Now, our zoning inspector, Darren Cavelli.
I would ask the board to approve the nuisance resolution that was forwarded to you, and I still got to put this nice stack. If you could just approve it.
Motion to determine that tax Mr. Farkas constituted a public nuisance pursuant to ORC 50587.
Second.
Mr. Stanton?
Yes.
Mr. Kenny?
Yes.
Mrs. Beavers?
Yes. Park Department, Todd Schaefer.
The pickleball courts are finally open again. We have tracks prepared over the weekend, and then again on Saturday. There was a section that wasn't done correctly. We had that redone, and we're now back open and running. Our sign out front and a sign halfway up the road going to the park has been repainted. I'd like to thank Razor's Painting for redoing those signs, and now match all the other signs in the park, the green and the tan. As Jim alluded to earlier, tomorrow night is Canfield Community Concert Band, which will kick off the start of the 4th of July festivities. And then the following Tuesday, which is actually the 4th, we are having a concert. Bruce Siren has generously volunteered to do the concert that night, so we will have a concert as usual on 4th of July at 7 o'clock. Last thing I have, last year we had new deck built at the pond, headed by trustees Kent, had that new deck built. It was a little bare with the landscaping being torn out when we tore out the old deck. And the gardeners of Greater Youngstown stepped up and spent a couple days out there doing all the brand new landscaping around the entire deck. And with us tonight is Mike Banks from the Gardeners of Greater Youngstown. He's the leader of that committee. Mike, you stand up and introduce the rest of the folks that get up here with you.
Okay, we have Mike Budis has been here often, and Tom Liggett, Bruce Brungard was another one. We were formerly the Men's Garden Club of Youngstown, and 2 years ago we the ladies joined us, and now we're the Gardeners of Greater Youngstown. And there was 3 ladies that also helped in the project, so there were 7 of us that did the project. And one of our goals is community service, and we were glad to be able to provide that to do the project, and I think it came out really nice.
We appreciate it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you guys did a great job.
Okay. Director of the Senior Center, Jim Henshaw, what do you have for us today?
Not a lot. We're going to be ready to start a new gun safety class before too long. We haven't put it all together yet, but it should be sometime in July we'll start that. Cooking classes are going well. Our painting class has been absolutely phenomenal. In fact, the whole class came to me the other day and they said they want to do a second day, so we're going to talk about that. It's really grown tremendously. The teacher is exceptionally good. I'm amazed at what he can do with these people. And we're still anticipating waiting for our new bus or our new van to come. Who knows when it will come, but it's ordered and we're still taking trips in the old van and working out okay, but we can take a limited amount of people. We can take a few more and they start to fight to get on things. So that's about it. Just do a cooking class with it.
My mom told me to love you, right? Lori, what breakers?
Okay, I have my business stuff, but I just wanted to say, everyone knows Mike Dockery. He's a man of very few words. And if you know me, I have very few words. But he doesn't like to be the center of attention, so even though he's not here tonight, I'd still like to publicly thank him. I've worked with him for almost 30 years here at Township. I've learned a lot. He's taught me a lot, he's done a lot, he's always been dedicated to Austintown. He works for the good of Austintown. I've learned, like I said, I've learned a lot from him. I appreciate his friendship, and I want to wish him well as he enjoys his retirement.
Motion to approve May reports submitted to the board at the June 12th meeting. A through E for agenda. Mr. Slater?
Yes.
Mrs. Beaver? Yes. Mr. Carroll? Need a motion to approve advances from general fund to $22,500 to gas meter tax.
So moved. Thanks.
Motion to transfer from general funds to $50,000 to zoning
Yes.
Mrs. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
For both?
Yes. Yes.
Ohio Liquor Control Division, whether to request a hearing on a notice to legislate authority of a new permit for 76 Restaurant Group Company LLC 5335 76 Drive, Unit 2, Austintown Township, Youngstown, Ohio 44515. Permit 8000400, permit class D3A.
Table that.
Okay.
Good.
Motion to table.
Second.
Who motioned? I'm sorry. Mr. Sanchez? Mrs. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Whether to request a hearing on notice to legislate authority of the transfer from 76 Hospitality LLC doing business Sons of Italy 2888 5335 76 Drive, Unit 2, Austintown Township, Youngstown, Ohio 44515, permit 8003720, permit class D1, D2, D3 to 76 Restaurant Group LLC 5335 76 Drive, Unit 2, Austintown Township, Youngstown, Ohio 44515, permit 80040, permit class D1, D2, and D3.
I'd like to also table that.
Table. Motion to table.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaver?
Yes.
Mr. Seaver, before you go further, I sent the board an email late yesterday evening. Don't want to put you on the spot, which is
Yes.
what I'm doing right now.
Uh-huh.
You're all free to look at it and are support our position.
Proper writing for that.
I'll just read it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
I was gonna say, my
Yeah.
phone's not working.
I can read it. Motion to approve the Trax Economic Development Transfer Form application and made a part of the minutes of the meeting for a D5 permit to allow for on-off sale of beer, wine, prepackaged, low-proof, mixed beverages, and on-premise only consumption of high-proof spirits, all until 2:30 a.m. at all future Vandillos Cantina and Grill owned by Tequilos 2 LLC to be located at 5332 Mahoning Avenue, Austintown Township, Mahoning County, State of Ohio 44515. And that is the former Pizza Hut location.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yes.
Mrs. Seaver?
Yes. Mark, I'll say I did that on purpose so you can stay in that Mexican restaurant. At this time, I would like public response on camera. If anybody would like to come up on camera. Go ahead, Emily.
Bill Saltzman, 266 Wilcox Road. Although I think highly of all of the department heads here, they do a fantastic job. And back when, when those when dinosaurs roamed the earth, we happened to be on the police department years and years and years and years ago. So my heart goes out to Chief Cavalier on taking care of those issues down there. But the reason I'm up here tonight is to recognize Andy Frost. And I talked to Andy a couple months ago at a meeting to question him about an AED. Our church here in Austintown, New Road Church, just west of the Teachers Credit Union, we had a lady go down, and luckily her heart didn't stop. But it scared me enough that I felt that the being on the board that we, excuse me, ought to look into something like that. So I questioned Andy about it, or Chief Frost. Sorry, Andy. I questioned Chief Frost about it, and he said, "Oh, don't buy a new one." He said, "You're going to waste a lot of money." He helped us save at least 1/3 of the cost, and just by going to him here. Then I asked him if he could come to one of our board meetings. I at 7 o'clock in the evening, outside what I would say is a normal work day, and he showed up and he told us all about it, and I just think that was over and above what a department that is expected to do, and I want to recognize him tonight. We did order it, it's coming in tomorrow, and I just want to be ready in case, because if you go to any church nowadays, there's a lot of elderly people, a lot of our younger people, and I get into religion and things of that nature, but we have a lot of elderly people, and I want to be available or have something available that we can help them in case one of them do go down. That we can put these pads on. Andy was great on bringing something to show us, and it was just wonderful. And I just want to recognize him as I really appreciate it. I truly do. And when all that was going on about all those calls he had the other day, the place blowing up and everything, I didn't know that. And I'm texting him, Andy, could you tell me what I have to, where's the email? And then afterwards, I saw it on the news, and I told my wife, I said, oh my goodness. I said, this guy has been busy all day. But he did answer me. So, you know, I just appreciate it. Andy, thank you. I appreciate it.
Anybody else on camera?
Yes. My name is Patrick Marciano, local officer. I live at 5007 East Viola in Austintown for 37 years. I'll start off by saying schedule is a tough word. Well, without schedules, you don't get anything done, or you don't get it done right. In my neighborhood, over the past couple of years, someone bought some property at the end of Benton, which is the other side of the casino. And I think the word, according to Darren, is logging. Well, last year, he logged constantly. Logging is not a bad thing, but any street back to my neighborhood, which is dead end, is a right-hand turn. Okay, it's a 90-degree turn. Trucks that came back were semi-sized trucks, full front end as well as trailers. They hauled wood out of there sometimes 2 times a day, okay, 3 times. My point is, they literally destroyed some of the streets back there. All right? They were bad to begin with, but putting those types of trucks with the equipment to do this logging literally destroyed the neighborhood. So I believe it was, I talked to Mike, I made a complaint about the logging in the streets. They actually came back and paved 100 yards of Benton. Not the whole street, 100 yards, which was kind of in front of my driveway, which I appreciated. But the rest of the street was a wreck. It's still a wreck as I speak. They came in after this logging last year and they did Viola. Very short strip of street because it dead ends into Route 11. Did a fine job. That street was a wreck. My point is, this Benton, this logging, without a schedule, to this guy that owns the property, has been a train wreck. So I'd like to deal with one of the trustees, give this guy a schedule. He just can't come in there and do what he wants because we were supposed to be paid last year in Benton. Something happened, then I went over and talked to the Mike's department, and they said Vernal, who does the paving, was overbooked. So you're not going to get done last year. You'll get done this year. Well, here we go. We're logging. We're bringing these trucks in. We're bringing in gas trucks. I don't believe we're going to get done. And why would you pave?
Benton, if he's still going to be logging with 20 pieces of equipment coming in and doing this logging. So my point is, we need to get this guy, give him a schedule, get him the hell out of there, and get the street paved. And now, to add insult to injury, we're doing gas lines on Northwest. So even if Bernal wanted to come, I don't know how the hell he would get those big trucks with asphalt back into my neighborhood. So this is why I'm speaking about scheduling. Schedule this guy. Schedule the damn gas line. Schedule the damn burn. We need scheduling, and I'd like to get that done. I really, really would. It's just horrific back there. And it's been that way. A lot of people use our area, which is the dead end, I said that once, for walking their dogs, walking their kids, or just taking a walk. You can't take a walk on a street that's got craters. And most of my neighborhood is elderly. You'll break bones, I'll just put it to you that. You'll break bones. So if you guys would get together, I'd like to work with somebody one-on-one and end this thing. Please, it's been too long. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else on camera? I think you would come up. Okay. Anybody on camera?
Well, let's see it go first.
Go ahead.
More than respect.
Before you speak, I have a question.
Don't worry about it. Long guy. Sam's Water, 4492 Ball Road. I just like to thank Stacy, Mrs. Deaver's boss, for coming up and cutting down some trees. Or you're his boss. And also Israel brought a couple of his employees up Friday. And watching young people work, it made me tired just watching. They came up and spread a lot of mulch and did a lot of work up there. And we're getting along pretty steady now. We need some people on the committee, but you know, if you want on, fine, give me a call or give Katie a call. Mine's 509-5269-330. But we could always use the help. We got 4th of July coming up. It'll be presentable for the 4th of July. So we got a lot of help from police, fire, and trustees. You know, so you need something to do. Want to get away from the wife? Come on up.
Anybody else on camera?
Jeff Roper, United States, representing the property at in College Park, the football fields at the end of Vassar. A couple of things, representing Austintown football, I just wanted to inform the safety service directors that Monday, July 5th, we are occupying the property again. Our practice starts for easing into football in the first couple of days, and I'm sure it'll come the week after. So if we increase your call volume, I apologize beforehand. I'd like to thank all you guys. Todd gave us, helped us out. We needed a meeting space. Andy and Chief, both chiefs have been more than supportive with us. With some of the calls we had over the summer there, some four-wheeler problems, but I just want to thank them and thank the trustees for your support this year. We're looking forward to getting going. I do have a request on behalf of the organization. At the end of, and this is for the road department, at the end of Vassar Drive, it dead ends into our property. We would like to place the F logo painted at the end of the drive, but it would be on township property, on the actual end of Vassar Road. We want to put the Fitch F logo on the property. I think the bowling team is doing the fundraiser, but I don't want to do it without permission because I don't want to step on anybody's toes. But that's just if everybody's okay with it, I'd like to get that that set up so that we can get it there before the season starts in a couple weeks.
You painted on the roof?
Yeah, on the end of the road, on the actual Vassar Drive.
Yeah.
Where that ends in our property. Other than that, we have 183 kids signed up for football and cheerleading this year. So to the residents of College Park, bear with us. You know College Park, that time of year, it gets busy. If we have to remind our members or other parents every year that it's 25 to be there, so it just takes a couple of weeks to get that back into their heads that you are in a residential neighborhood, and if any of the residents of College Park have a problem, you can reach out to me on Facebook or on our website. It's a very difficult website to put out there. Reach out to me on Facebook, Austintown Youth Football. I will deal with any problems that arise in that neighborhood. Reach out to me first. I'd like to solve it if we can. But right now we have plans in place for the parade. I just want to thank you. I think right now we have 56 participants that are coming in our parade just in Austintown Youth Football, and we're going to team up with the high school and do one big entry in the parade, so it'll be pretty cool this year. But again, any questions on Austintown Youth Football, especially the College Park residents, feel free to reach out. My name's Chuck Koch. You can find me on the Facebook page or on our website. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
President.
you.
Anyone else on camera?
My name's Ed Bill, 138 Pitch Boulevard. I'm the one who spoke on the 8 about speeding issues on Pitch Northwest. It surprises me to hear that 28 miles an hour is the average speed. It seems like if you talk to anybody who lives on those two streets, they'll say that something's wrong with that study. But a study is kind of, yes. What doesn't surprise me is that 18,000 plus vehicles in that short period of time. It doesn't surprise me that 50 plus miles an hour going on the road. And it doesn't surprise me, it's mentioned by the police department that there is a problem of speeding on those streets. So on Pitch Boulevard where I live, I do see people riding bicycles, crossing the street often to get to the sidewalk, or even walking on the street itself. And even a couple days ago, I saw a person on a golf cart just driving up Pitch Boulevard. So I'm not an attorney, but I pretend to be one that's seen on TV. But if the township is aware that the speeding that goes on, and one of those individuals get hurt or injured or die of a speeding vehicle, it might be a liability. Maybe. I don't know, maybe. But when I first presented on the 8 by a speed humps multiples, I should say, placed on Pitch Boulevard, that should correct the problem. Because anybody driving excessive speeds on those things would destroy their vehicles. That would result in speeding issues. And also the speed stops. Do that all the time. Very, very common. So at the stop sign right to at the plaza, not the plaza, I'm sorry, at the condo association right into that side road. Between the speed humps and that stop sign, that should eliminate any of the speeding problems whatsoever. And people who live on Northwest, I can't really say for them, but I don't see anything on activity. But I do see, coming on Pitch Boulevard going north, as they go east on Northwest, a lot of people at that stoplight either don't stop or they're racing up the road if they do come to a stoplight. So, but just want people aware that, there are issues and it's going to continue until something is corrected.
Ed, if you'd like, there's a copy of it.
Can I add something? Just came to my mind. The first year of this logging, I didn't pay attention because my wife brought my attention. At 3:30 in the afternoon, a fire was started back there in this area. And again, I didn't pay attention, let it go. The next day she said, there's a fire back there again, 3:30. Well, it was Amish people that were cutting this wood for this property. Well, on the third day, I went back there to look for myself. There's a fire, unattended. He was burning off pieces of you strip the wood for logging and make regular wood for, construction. They'd start the fire and leave and hope that it would go out. And it's on record, I called the fire department I believe it was 2 or 3 times, till finally, I think they threatened him because it stopped. But this guy's a maniac. I need to work with somebody to stop this guy.
I'd be happy to address that. It's a big issue for us. That is zoned agricultural. We have no jurisdiction on agricultural property. The EPA does. The EPA allows them to do that burning, unintended burning. Do we agree with that? Absolutely not. But I have no jurisdiction or legal right to stop it. And that's been our problem. He actually is done now. The project was done for that project he was doing. We had been in contact with the EPA several times. And again, they came out even and looked at it. But he is permitted to do that. And again, I don't agree with it at all, but I have no legal authority to act on it.
I mean, that's all woods back.
I agree. It's a residential area as well.
It's a timber box where my house is located.
I agree 100%. But
Okay, we gotta shut this guy down. If it means getting a lawyer, then let's get a lawyer. This guy, he's unaffiliated with this area, so he can get it. How do you express it? This has to end. So you don't talk about the same thing.
we've been in contact with them several times. We've seen all the issues because they were getting an odor in this scene. So again, we addressed it. We just have to legal right to
Is there another way to get in there, to get that wood the hell out of there besides coming on streets that are paved? I mean, bring the equipment back, take your logs, take them out through the woods or another area that's...
Andy, you said that they were done walking?
I don't know, he was done doing the burns that he was doing at that time. He may be doing more.
It's back in this year.
No, so he did it at the end of last year, he did it at the beginning of this year. And up until probably 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that, he was still doing it. He told us he had 3 more days at that point to burn. But I don't know if there's a phase 2 or 3, I have no idea. But phase he was in, he was just about.
So it's legal to start a fire and walk away.
For them, on an agricultural property, yes.
Yes, sir, that's on the south side of West Webb Road, or East Webb Road, rather. And I think they started at the north end first. So I'll make an assumption that they were using Webb Road. I know. Without walking it, it would seem feasible that they could. They're obviously choosing to do that. But I'm sure the people on Webb Road have the same opinion you do. Unfortunately, obviously as Chief Frost mentioned, that's agricultural property, but in the state of Ohio, logging is an agricultural activity regardless. We have no local jurisdiction, we can't stop it. You are not the first person that I've talked to through the years complaining about.
We've been working with that, I appreciate it. I said there's a 90-degree turn on all the streets. Take that semi back there and try to do 90-degree turns without taking out somebody's piece of property. Try it. You've got to be going over somebody's property. You can't take a tractor trailer and make a 90-degree turn on a regular, normal-sized Austintown street where I am. So, okay, thank you again.
Is there anybody else on camera that would like to speak tonight? Okay, how about off camera? Go ahead. At this time, we'll make remarks from the board and we'll listen to Trustee Kent, please.
I just want to thank again to the Men's Garden Club for all the hard work you guys did. I walked down there, I was completely shocked. It was something that I wasn't even expecting. So great job.
It's a greater Youngstown.
Yeah, greater Youngstown. I saw one of your ladies and she told me everything that was going on and she was dead onto that project as well. But it turned out fabulous, so congrats on that. Last weekend was Father's Day. Hopefully every father had a great day. John Bird is the head coach of the Fitch Wrestling. I wanted to congratulate him and his kids. They took first place in the Eastern Ohio Wrestling League tournament. They went against 25 competitors.
other teams, and it was the first time since 2008 they actually won the whole tournament. So good luck to that, John Bird and his team on the upcoming wrestling season. Again, I would like to, everybody was talking about Mike Dockery. I want to thank Mike Dockery for the last 3 years. He actually, I mean, every time you went to Mike, he gave you you know, might not agree with you or whatever, but he gave you his personal opinion. And it was always good and always about the township. So congratulations, Mike. Good luck on your retirement. And thank you, 4th of July committee, for all the stuff that you guys do. You guys put on a heck of a show. You guys plan it out to every detail. So, you know, I'm sure it's going to be a great weekend for all of us. So, thank you.
This time, Trustee Santos.
Our secretary, gentlemen, thank you. Looks nice. It's supposed to be at my house tomorrow. So I'll have a little bit. Obviously, 4th of July is coming up. You guys don't know, we got definitely a full roster for the dunk tank. If you guys didn't hear, the money that's raised is actually going to be going to the JRTC program at the school. So come on down, dunk some individuals. I'll definitely have a couple of slots. You know, I have some free slots available. You know, tossing it out there. You know.
You're volunteering. Mr. Coke's going to volunteer.
But it's a good time. I mean, REC is a lot of good events. One of the things me and Divas definitely preached was definitely making more, you know, stuff for us to do actually the 4th of July stuff. It's not a ban. But again, thank you for the committee going out there with agreeing with our assistance and our constant no, do this, and understanding. I appreciate it. We had our Austintown second movie night again. We watched The Goonies. Again, I want to give my wife definitely kudos and my 7-year-old son for helping me set up and tear down that night. Definitely was a good night. The kids enjoyed the s'mores. It was awesome. It was fun. You know, mine said spider was crawling up my legs, screaming like a girl. I don't do spiders. I don't, because this Marine does not do spiders. Okay, I'll burn the place down. Luca is actually playing July 15th. So come on down. It'll be at REC, the same spot in the Austintown Park. Come on down, watch Luca. We'll have free popcorn. We'll have some more s'mores. It's definitely sponsored by Chick-fil-A, this movie. So I'm not sure if they're going to come out there with their portable vehicle offering some chicken sandwiches. Might be a little late, but if they do, great. Look forward to seeing you guys out there. I definitely want to give props to Mike Dockery. Most of you guys don't know, he was supposed to retire, was it? The year that me and Monica got elected. I'm not sure what day or what month it was, but he was supposed to be off to stay the next year and a half to make sure we get acclimated. So I definitely want to give him props and kudos for that. Obviously, he was looking forward to retiring, and then we put a snafu on that. Sorry. But I definitely give him props. He's definitely a man of wealth of knowledge. I am definitely looking forward to working with Mark Depolito. He's definitely a phenomenal individual. He's on point. He's on key. I am extremely impressed in the fact that we all hired him on. He's doing a phenomenal job. I do want to thank Brenda for picking up something I've won. I actually purchased something from a friend of mine. Forgot to pick it up. Apparently she shows up like 3 hours later. My name's on it. She picks it up. It just so happens to be right here. But this is something I was hoping Mike would be here. But I wanted to present this to Mike, and I am going to embarrass the hell out of him live streaming when I knock on his door. You all know he doesn't like to be in the limelight, but I'm going to be in the limelight. But it's Austintown's coordinates. So I definitely wanted to present that to him. He's just a phenomenal person. I mean, I come into this office probably like 4 times. You know, he probably sees me leave, so thank God he's gone. He knows I'm right back in here bugging him again for something else. So I definitely want to give him kudos and appreciation. So thank you guys. Look forward to seeing you all dunk to me and dunk tank. So, and hopefully some more.
I want everybody to know that I went to a little lemonade stand. It was called Aunt Mimi's Lemonade Stand. It started out last year. This little girl collected $2,000 selling lemonade. She also had the governor come buy some lemonade on her last year. This year the governor didn't come, but sending her a nice check is what I was told. This little girl lost her aunt and was so upset and knew that her aunt would want her to do something. So she decided the first time that she did the lemonades that it would go to an animal charity. It's over $2,000. This time, it went to child cancer. I don't know exactly how much she collected this time, but I know they didn't set the goal as high for her, but it was over $500, and that was when I was there Saturday, so I don't know exactly how much she did collect. But this is so great that we have children out there wanting to help charities in our town. We need more adults to try to do that, so kudos to her. I mean, to live in Austintown, to be in like second grade, and have this lemonade stand and go and make cookies, and just the news was there. It was just really nice. And I just think that she needed to be recognized for that, and I didn't write her name down. We also have a former Falcon, currently a Tiffin Dragon football player, Christian Armstrong. We need to keep him in our prayers. He was hurt in Mill Creek real bad and had surgery last week. I just think that everyone should know that he's a former Falcon and football player, and with that, he hurt. So I'd like to put prayers out to him. Also, as always, my husband's been working the 9/11, and I need to tell him that I appreciate him. I can't go cut trees down or work, and they also appreciate them, and I appreciate all the work that he does for us. And of course, I'm not going to say anything much more about Mike because everybody's already done that, but Mike will be missed by all of us, our whole department, our heads, everybody here. We've all talked about him, and he was a great asset to Austintown and cared about Austintown. I was in office many times with him, and he has taught me a lot, and I can go further with what he has taught me, so I just want you guys to know that we did lose a nice guy, and hope him the best in his retirement. But we also got a new administrator, and I think we did really well on that, and we're very happy so far. Ask me next week. But being that said, I'm going to put a motion to recess to executive session for A and B for agenda.
Mr. Kessler?
Yes.
Mr. Santos?
Yes.
Mrs. Davis? Yes.